Justin Tucker is really popular because he's an opera singer as well. Do you have any closet talents at all? Maybe not opera
I'd say I'm
singing,
closer to a sneakerhead than an opera singer, yeah.
Welcome into another edition of First and 10 presented by JCPenney. I'm your host, Haley Sutton, and I am so excited for this week's guest. This is a guy that I can kind of familiarize myself with, kicker Brett Maher. Brett, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon on First and 10.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I kind of just want to start right where we are right now. You're halfway through year 5 of your NFL career. How has the season been going for you so far?
I think it's been pretty solid to this point. We've had a lot of positives on special teams. I feel like I'm part of that also. Had a little bit of a transition there with Jake getting hurt, and Matt's done a great job coming in, filling in, and him and Brian and I feel like we're really getting in a nice little groove. So hopefully we can keep that moving as we make a little run here.
I feel like kicking is one of those positions where it can make or break a game. A lot of pressure gets put on kickers sometimes. How do you deal with that pressure, or do you feel pressure at all?
I think, yes, I feel pressure. Leaning into that and enjoying that kind of responsibility is the way that I try to attack that situation. There are kicks that are bigger than other kicks. There are moments that are bigger. Understanding that and leaning into that and really trying to take advantage of those opportunities. To the same token, though, you don't know how the rest of the game is going to shake out, which means that your first quarter extra point or your first quarter field goal may end up being very, very important as we get late into the game as well. So dialing in every single kick and understanding different situations as well.
You mentioned some of those big moments. You actually have a few of the NFL's longest kicks in history.
Here's the try. It is good! Maher from 62.
Is there a different approach to those type of kicks, or what's it like setting up for something like that?
Those are a lot of fun for me to go out there, and it's almost a little bit like showing off, and you can swing as hard as you can and and try to put it through. But anytime we're within a certain range where I feel like I don't have to overswing on a ball, then you go out there and you keep your process the same and you expect to make every single one.
What's the relief like when one of those goes through the uprights?
I wouldn't say there's a lot of relief. I think it's more excitement. Kind of lose yourself in where you are in that moment. But yeah, they're fun.
What's the most challenging part of your job?
Separating myself from ebbs and flows of games. There are times where you feel like you're going to be in field goal position, you're going to do X, Y, and Z, or we're just rolling over an opponent and you can let your energy drop and miss a kick that is maybe inconsequential, but to fight that and stay kind of in that neutral zone is probably the biggest challenge.
A little fact that actually I just learned earlier today is that you have some punting experience. So it's kind of natural for you to be close with, positionally, of course, and just with that experience with Brian Anger. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with him and how that experience maybe has helped your friendship grow?
Yeah, I don't know that experience has necessarily helped our relationship, just because I feel like I'm farther removed from that and also not talented enough to do that. I love working with Brian. He's a great person, a great professional, obviously very, very good at what he does. We have a lot of similarities, I think, personality-wise, and he's got a young daughter also, and I have 3 daughters, so there's a lot of similarities that we've been able to grow on and become close.
Michael Gallup, who was on our show last week, talked about being a father too, and so I love that you guys are leaning into fatherhood. What's that experience been like for you, just balancing football and being a dad?
That's probably the best job I could ever have, to be honest with you. I've got 3 little girls. They're amazing. First and foremost, they're healthy and happy. My wife has been absolutely amazing throughout this whole journey. I don't know what path it would have gone had she not supported me and the kids as we were getting going through this whole thing. So it's a big piece of what I do, and I try to let her know how appreciative I am of that. I'm sure I don't do it as well as I could at times, but that's been she's played a huge role in me getting here.
I love that. I have a little niece, so I feel you on watching them grow up. It's so much fun. You're a Nebraska guy through and through. You went to college at the hometown school of Nebraska. Taking you back to those years, what was the pride you felt in playing for a university that you probably grew up watching and supporting?
Yeah, there was a ton of it. I grew up a Husker fan ever since I can remember. We were very, very good when I was a kid, and I think that helped get me hooked also. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. My experience there was awesome. Met a lot of great people there. Had some success in college also, which helps, and yeah, it was a great experience.
You went from Nebraska, you've been in the East Coast, you've been across the border in Canada a little bit. Your career's kind of taken you everywhere. When you were playing in the Canadian Football League, what were the differences maybe in that versus playing in the NFL, and what did you enjoy about Canada?
The biggest differences are 3-down football and the number of people on the field. The size of the field is also a little different, but there's 12 guys on the field, and you punt or kick on 3rd down. So you have three downs to make a 1st down, which makes a specialist job. You see the field a lot more. Canada was great in terms of it kept me exposed down here, kept me in shape, kept me with game film, and also I made a couple of my best friends for probably the rest of my life up there also. So it was a great experience. I'm very happy for it. Very fortunate to get the opportunity down here also, but that was a big piece of my journey.
I've also been told that you're a closet sneakerhead. True or false?
False.
Okay.
I think I have maybe 3 pairs of shoes down here with me in Texas, and a couple pairs of dress shoes for game day. So I would not qualify, or yeah, I wouldn't count myself as sneakerhead.
I know Justin Tucker is really popular because he's an opera singer as well. Do you have any closet talents at all? Maybe not opera
I'd say I'm
singing,
closer to a sneakerhead than an opera singer, yeah. I don't have nothing like that to that level, no. I spend a lot of my time, a lot of my free time with my wife, with my kids, chasing them around, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Maybe if I had some other extraordinary talents, I would dive into them a little bit, but
yeah.
It's a little cop-out for me right now.
Okay. My last question for you, what has been your favorite part of being a Dallas Cowboy?
You meet so many unique people from so many different walks of life and backgrounds and life experiences, and if you spend a little bit of time getting to know some other people's stories and understanding what they've been through and where they've come from, I think as a person, it makes you better.
I love that. That is all I have for our formal interview, but
Okay.
This is the fun part. This is what all the guys have really enjoyed the most. We're calling this the final drive, so we're gonna put a minute on the clock.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions and you give me as many answers as you can in that time.
They're all yes or no, or?
Kind of, yes or no, they're really quick answers.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
you ready to go?
Yep.
All right, we'll put a minute on the clock. Here we go. First question, what was your first job?
Detasseling.
Oh, okay. Texting or talking on the phone?
Talking on the phone.
Favorite city besides Dallas?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay. Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Do you have your own Netflix account or do you borrow someone else's?
Borrow.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
8.5.
What was your last Halloween costume?
Ninja Turtle.
Okay. Would you rather be able to fly or be invincible? Invisible, not invincible.
Fly.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
How many pull-ups can you do in a row?
30.
Your ideal temperature outside?
72.
Would you rather give a present or get a present?
Give.
And last one, your favorite social media platform?
Don't have one.
Don't have one? No social media at all?
No. Well, Snapchat, does that?
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't use
Only because
Snapchat anymore,
videos for
according
my
to the
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Snapchat coming out of left field.
That's right.
Brett, thank you so much. You are not a sneakerhead, but you are still very, very interesting. I know fans are going to love getting to know you. I enjoyed getting to know you, so thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That'll do it for this edition of First and 10, presented by JCPenney. We will see you next week.